Hello and welcome to this presentation on continuous improvement for Fox Meadow Middle School and Harrison School District 2. Okay, so who are we? Fox Meadow Middle School is a school that serves predominantly a minority population, mostly Hispanic, and the numbers over the years as far as percentage have remained fairly stable. Students that are white, again, pretty stable, black students, and then two or more races moving on from there. But mostly those three races, white, Hispanic, and black, with Hispanic being our most predominant population. As you can see from both of these graphs, our population has actually gone up pretty significantly over the past 5 years. About 25% of the population has gone up. And also coming down here too, we can kind of see that the percentage of students on free or reduced lunch has also gone up pretty significantly. About 8% of our student population, that percentage has gone up. Okay, so how do we do business? So this is actually from a district-wide survey, so a culture survey, that was done by 6,303 employees, parents, and students in grades 4 through 12. 89% of parents said that students are expected to succeed academically. 79% of students feel safe at school, and 63% believe the district culture creates a supportive work environment. So some of the things to kind of highlight here, as far as, and they kind of come with behavior. So communicating behavioral expectations for parents, that was pretty low, well, better in 2017, 2018, but pretty low among staff and students. Really low student behavior perception from parents, definitely from staff, and then the lowest from students. So students kind of seeing the brunt of that behavior, a lot of incidents of bullying that are being reported and those types of things. So definitely some things to be working on. And the last one to highlight too, as far as like things that are low and how we're kind of doing business in areas of improvement, student respect for diversity. So if we kind of look right here, 68%, 74% for the parents between 2016 and 2017, in the 70s for staff, and then way down in the 50s for students. So just not really seeing that they are respecting that diversity from the student perspective. All right, so where are we now? I wanted to focus in on math. When we look at our math scores, 2015, so this line right here is kind of that median math score. And we can definitely see that the scores have gone down significantly over the past 3 and 4 years. So that line, right, we used to be above it, and now we're definitely below it. And we kind of break this down looking at ethnic groups and also gender, like we can kind of see some trends. So definitely the population that's gone down the most has been our male population of students. The girls, the females have definitely stayed up a little bit more. This year, for these 3 years, still being above that line, but then, still significantly dropping, but certainly not as much as the boys have dropped. Coming down to socio and economic classes, one thing that we're kind of looking at here is for our black and Hispanic students, especially our black students, the scores have really gone down. Hispanic students' scores have gone down. And for white students, it has gone down, but over these 3 years has remained fairly stable. So that's kind of going back to that diversity piece that we're kind of seeing as an issue. And then come over here to looking at these other middle school math results for our free and reduced lunch. For free and reduced eligible, those scores are going kind of consistently down. But for the free and reduced, not free and reduced eligible, the scores, again, they're still going down. We're still seeing that trend, but not as much as we're seeing that with our students on that free and reduced lunch. And our students that are not on free and reduced lunch are certainly outscoring our students who are on free and reduced lunch. Okay, so why do we exist? And this is kind of a lot of text. I'm not going to read through the whole thing, but these are just taken from the website. This is also taken from Fox Meadow Middle School. So to kind of give some highlights of some things is that we talk about that we're going to be successful as a district by ensuring the core beliefs at the center of everything we do with our students and community. And so if we read through this list, it's actually very focused on academic achievement, and that's through the lens of instruction. So a lot of it is definitely focused on we're going to deliver high quality instruction. And that one of the goals too is that with our help, at-risk students will achieve at the same rate as not at-risk students. Well, we're definitely not seeing that. We're not seeing the same scores. And although they both have gone down, we're definitely seeing that our students who are less at risk are having higher scores. Student staff must make a commitment to children and commitment to the pursuit of excellence. So, maybe something that we're not seeing. And then coming down here, as far as Fox Meadow specifically, we are creating a college-going culture which will ensure our all-stars have mastered the essential skills and to be successful in high school so they can graduate college and be career ready. We're not setting our students up for that success. Okay, so that's kind of why we exist. And if we get down to the core of it, it comes down to student academic success. We want our students to be prepared for college and career. We want success for all students, and we're focused on that student well-being. So we are wanting to create a safe learning environment. So really that's what it comes down to. Are we preparing them for life beyond school? And are we ensuring their well-being? So where do we want to be? Well, we want to be showing growth, and we want to be having a diverse population of students showing growth, and we want to be helping all of our students, and we want our students to be in a safe learning environment. But what are the gaps? Obviously, like we said, our scores are going down. They're not going up. And other gaps, going back to the survey that we had, some of the gaps that we saw were that the students don't feel safe at school, or that the students, there are issues with behavior, or there are issues with discipline and those things. So there's definitely is a disconnect between what we're wanting and what we're actually seeing. So what are the root causes? One of the things that I think it comes down to is that there is a need for a standards-based curriculum. There is a need for an analysis grounded in standards, data analysis, grounded in standards, and there's a need for quality instruction. So I actually would agree with what it's saying on the district website. I just don't think we're necessarily delivering on that. I think some of the other root causes that we, are coming up as well is that we're definitely not serving those students in those large populations. So, whether that's we need to partner better with families, or whether that's, we need to differentiate better within our classrooms, or maybe, whatever it may be, I think these can be really complicated issues, but we're not, I don't think we know enough even right now to be able to really dissect that. So just focusing on the academic portion, how are we going to get to where we want to be? We certainly need a new math curriculum. We need to own our data. We need to see that, hey, these scores have gone down significantly, and something needs to change about that. We need to have constant coaching cycles between management and content. We're a district that has a lot of new teachers, and we need to support those teachers the best that we can with a solid curriculum. So we need to help them to, how do we teach this standards-based curriculum, and how do we teach in general? How are we helping new teachers with that classroom management? How do we get students engaged? How do we incorporate engagement strategies in the classroom where students want to learn? They're learning in a fun learning environment, and they're engaged in their curriculum, and they're learning with joy, and therefore learning better. And we also need to learn better differentiation strategies. So obviously we have seen a disparity among different populations and among different students. So how are we differentiating for our students to ensure the success of all? So how are we going to implement? How are we going to get there? Well, I would say start new curriculum right away. That's something that we need to do. What we're doing right now is obviously not working, and we need to switch to a standards-based curriculum, especially in mathematics. We need to provide that math-specific training and coaching. So with a new curriculum, we need to provide coaching and training on what is the new curriculum, how do we implement this new curriculum, how do we make this a curriculum engagement, and these things need to be ongoing. We need to be having people coming into classrooms, helping out, and seeing how to best support those teachers and how to best teach that new curriculum, and hopefully see that data change. And then lastly, observation and coaching cycles. So again, just as I've kind of said before, not just focusing on how are we implementing curriculum, but also how are we helping our teachers to improve as teachers? How are we helping them with classroom management, those things? Okay, and then how will we evaluate our efforts? Pre and post assessments, other district assessments, state assessment data. So really just how are we looking at different assessments before we get to that state assessment data and see those scores go down, knowing where our students are at before that and having that data on hand. And then also going back to the cultural piece, putting out that district culture survey, putting out that building culture survey, and seeing kind of how are we serving students and what are those perceptions? Because there definitely seems to be a connection between the scores that we're seeing and the perceptions that we're seeing. I hope this has been very insightful, and I'm excited to see where we can go with this, because there's clearly a need to change what we're doing, and there's clearly a need to improve. Thank you.